very special guest who just announced that he's retiring after a 21-year career, a sterling career. He played on 2 World Cup rosters, 2010, 2014. He has 3 Gold Cup titles.
Don't forget the Olympics.
He's got the Olympics.
Got the Olympics in there.
The guy's been around. He's seen it all. We're so thrilled to have him on the show. Brad Guzan, everybody. Give him some love in the chat. Let's go. Guzano, what a career,
what's
my
happening,
friends.
guys? I appreciate it, guys.
So why now? Like, why not just keep going? Why not just set records?
Yeah, you're a year from shutting down Messi and co. You know, and one of your absolute best games of your career at this stage. Why stop?
You know what? You're right, guys. You know, forget the announcement. You know what? I'm going back in tomorrow. I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
You just need the hype man. You just need the hype man. That's it.
I love it. I love it.
But for real, like, what was the impetus for making this decision?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think there's a lot of conversations, and listen, as a professional athlete, and you guys have been there, you always feel that you've got more to give. You always feel that, you know, knock on wood, you're healthy, and you know, for my sake, I've been mostly healthy, and you know, I feel good, and I always feel that, you know, I can compete, and I want to compete, and I have that desire to still be out there. But like I said, you know, before we joined the show, and you know, the game outlives all of us, and that's the reality of it. And so, you know, it's time to be more of a sideline supporter like Chuck and Charlie, and winning medals with the kids and all those things. And so, you know, my support system has been unbelievable. My wife, my kids. If it was up to them, they'd have me playing for another 10, 15 years. So, you know, it's part of it, man. It's, you know, it's the time of it. It's been obviously a difficult season, from a club standpoint. But, you know, it's been a conversation that has been had, and not a decision that was taken, lightly, for sure. Super emotional. As I was telling you guys, it's all I've known for 21 years, and it's been an unbelievable ride for just this kid living his dream, man. It's I don't ever take it for granted that I've been able to have the experiences that I've had, to have the friends and the teammates that I've been able to have and play with, such as yourselves. And so, you know, I'm just super grateful and just, you know, super lucky to have had the career that I've had.
Yeah. Well done and well said, and congrats on everything. We'd you know, go through the game if we went through all your accomplishments. And have you been able to? You said you'd been doing some stuff for the last, you know, couple of weeks, you know, getting ready for this. Have you had a moment where, like, you were filming some stuff, or they were showing you some, and you're like, man, I can't believe I did all of that. Like, I can't believe that's me doing all of that.
Well, like, that's the funny thing, because it's, you go back and you see pictures, and you see, you know, different experiences that you were part of and experienced and went through. But in the moment, I don't actually remember those. And then all of a sudden you see that picture, you see, you know, that you're able to relive that experience, and you're like, oh yeah, that was pretty unbelievable, or, you know, this was pretty cool, and I don't remember that, but now I do. And so you have those memories. But yeah, man, it's like I said, you get this flashback of it, and I think at some point I'll sit down with my wife and, you know, kind of digest it all and you know, take it all in. But at the same time, it's like, at the minute, it's all a bit of a blur. But you try to savor every last minute of it.
I've known you from the very beginning, Chivas USA days. You were a legend for Chivas USA. R.I.P. R.I.P. But legend in England for Villa. I mean, you're consistent. Everyone has beautiful things to say about you as a teammate, as a person, on and off the field. That's always been you. And since we're going to be watching this game tonight with the U.S. versus Australia, I'm curious, what's your favorite moment wearing the shirt?
Yeah, I mean, I think the one that stands out for sure right away is my debut, and I remember being in Dallas. I remember the anthem playing, and I remember that was the first time, I wasn't nervous for my MLS debut. I wasn't nervous, in any of those MLS games throughout my first season. I know we weren't great our first year at Chivas USA, but that for my debut for the national team, I remember thinking, keep this ball as far away from me as possible. I was proper nervous. My heart was racing. The anthem's going. And of course, like once the whistle blows, you get into the flow of the game, and we ended up winning 4-0. But it was one of those games where beforehand I was thinking, this is it. I've reached the absolute
I'm
the top
good.
of the mountain. This is if the career ends tomorrow, like I've been so lucky to be able to put this crest on and put this jersey on, and that moment for me was unbelievable.
Okay, so Guzano, you are one step away from doing what we're doing. So let's get into the starting 11 tonight against Australia. Let's put your pundit hat on and see what Brad Guzan has to say about the starting 11. We got Matt Freese in goal, Miles Robinson, Chris Richards, and Mark McKenzie in a back three. It's being Freeman on the right, kind of the right wing back. We got Tim Weah playing the left wing back. Christian Roldan and James Sands holding it down in the 6s. You got Weston McKinney and Christian Pulisic as the 2-10s, and Haji Wright up top as our special guest. And because you're going to be a pundit very soon, Brad Guzano, what are your thoughts on this starting 11?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think going off of the result the other night and the performance more than the results, because obviously, you always want to step on the field to win. It was a good performance. It was a positive performance. It was energetic. It was lively. And I think when you go into this game, right, guys are going to be looking, saying, hey, we need to follow that up with another big performance. And you're going to have guys now, Christian on from the start. I want to see another big game from Richards and Miles. I know, obviously the back three is going to be, I think, where the future lies in terms of this group. I think there's still some places that spots up for grabs within the center of the pitch.
What a breakdown from Brad Guzan. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I thought you had finished. You're a fantastic breakdown, but keep going if you got more to add. Keep going.
Listen, and the hot topic is obviously the goalkeeping position, and I thought that was the only reason you guys really brought me on, Tone. And I would love to hear Tony.
Don't sell yourself short, man. Don't sell you ever.
And listen, I think at the moment Matt Freese has solidified his spot there, and it's his position to lose at this moment.
And what do you like about his game? Sorry, Tones. What do you like about Matt Freese's game, really quick?
No, listen. I at the highest level, Jimmy. You goalkeepers, you need to make saves in big moments, and especially in big games. And obviously he took his opportunity. He grabbed it with both hands, and he's not let go of it. And he's got the belief of the manager and the staff, and clearly the group around him. And I think that stems from not only his play, but obviously his persona and what he kind of brings to the group itself. And I think Pochettino's been pleased with the fact that he's been given an opportunity and he's actually taken it, and he's not let go of it. And so, okay, listen, can he make saves? Yes. His distribution is good. Yes. Can he do all the things that you need a international goalkeeper to do? Absolutely. But it's when you get to the top of the top, it's the smallest of details. And a lot of times it comes down to the comfort of the manager of who he's putting on the team sheet. And at the moment, he feels very comfortable with Matt Freese in goal.
So the narrative has changed around this team over, let's say, last 20 minutes of the Korea match, Japan match, Ecuador match. It's kind of changed. You mentioned it, right? A little more positive vibe. Mm-hmm. So what excites you about this team, and maybe give us something that maybe concerns you about this team?
Yeah, I think what excited me after the other night was just the ability to go forward and continue to constantly be dangerous. Every time it looked like there's a possibility for either a chance or ultimately a goal. And I thought Balogun was fantastic in terms of his work rate and his relentlessness to press and get after the ball and put the back line under pressure, but then also create some big problems. And so I'm excited to see Haji Wright tonight from the start to kind of pick up where he left off, because I think there's a real battle there in terms of that 9 position of who is going to get the nod when it comes time for big games. But at the same time, the fact that you just touched on it, Tony, the fact that the team has gone like this and they've had these waves, you want that consistency, and more importantly, you want us on the incline and on the rise as we go into next summer.
Well, you're on a roll right now, so I'm gonna keep giving you, feeding you. I'm gonna keep feeding you. So
feed the bear. Feed the bear.
You came into the national team under Bob Bradley. Okay, you had that relationship, and I think
incorrect. My first cap was under Bruce.
Oh, it was?
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Chuck, no big deal.
You settled in though with Bob, right?
Right.
That's kind of where you made a name for yourself, and you got your move to England, right? What I'm trying to understand is the group that we created, that atmosphere under Bob was brilliant. It was top notch. But you also then made the jump with Jurgen, and I want to see if you can draw some similarities between Pochettino and Jurgen. Obviously, Jurgen had much more time in that cycle before the 2014 World Cup versus Pochettino. Do you see that he's changing the culture, that he's trying to make it more uneasy, more uncomfortable for guys so that they play with a little bit more grit, a little bit more edge than what they were playing with under Greg Berhalter? Or do you see him still not trying or still not understanding the group yet?
I think it's a bit of both. I think it's the fact that he's trying to implement this culture of, hey, when you're in the national team, we are here. It is 100% business. We are here for 10 days, and we need to maximize every minute of every day to prepare for these games. At the same time, I think he's also trying to get a grasp of the entire player pool and an understanding of, hey, okay, I've seen this guy. I've liked him when he's played with his club team a few times. So let me bring him into the camp. And as you guys know, when you get national team players and they come into the national team setup, not every player is going to fit within that group. And they may be the so-called best player in that position, on paper or for their club team. But when they come in with the national team, it just, for whatever reason, it doesn't click, it doesn't work, and it's not happening. And in that moment, how do you then make the group better? Just because you're bringing some guy in that maybe is playing really well for his club team, but when he comes with the national team, it doesn't happen. And so I think Pochettino is still trying to analyze and kind of go through that player pool and say, okay, who can I count on? Who could be a part of this group moving forward and going into next summer?
Listen, you've definitely passed the audition. There's no question. You've absolutely nailed this audition. Anybody out there that's watching or going to watch later, hire this man in the future.
Well, Nastri, Mike Nastri's watching right now. So Nastri, pull the trigger. Hire this guy.
Let the guy have a week of vacation after this.
Well,
man.
honestly,
week at least.
There's no breaks on this side of it. It's 24/7 all the time, Guzano. Do you have any immediate plans? Are you going on a vacation? Like, are you any celebrations that are going to be happening to honor this great career that you put together?
At the minute, no plans. I mean, I think the plan is to play Saturday, so I've got to turn my focus. Of course. Turn my focus to the weekend. But after that, no, nothing concrete right now. I've got my wife's 40th is coming up in November, so I've got to make sure I don't drop the ball there now that I've got no excuse in terms of training or games to prepare for. So we've got that, but I'm sure we'll figure out a time and a place to celebrate and look back and, get all of our closest friends and family together and have a good night.
Well, that's awesome. That's
great,
awesome.
Man.
So sorry, I let you down. I let you down with that. Sorry, guys.
No, there's nothing to let down. Okay. So last question before we let you go.
Go on.
Have you ever had a jersey swap? It's like tradition of the show. Have you ever swapped jerseys with anybody?
Yeah. Well, I thought
what's your best jersey swap story?
I thought I was going to swap with Chuck a couple weeks ago, and he just took mine and never gave me one. So thanks, dude.
Wow.
I appreciate that.
Learned something new about Chuck today.
Yeah, honestly. Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Turn around.
Yeah, show it. Guzano.
My best jersey swap.
I didn't even know keepers swap.
Yeah, I didn't know if they did that. Maybe
you know what?
What are you talking about? What kind of statement is that?
Just shared a whole bunch of stories about switching with players.
I swear, I don't think I've ever seen a jersey from a keeper come off on the pitch. I've never seen
it. You don't
because
watch
you're not paying attention to the game, man.
Exactly. Tell him exactly. You know what I will say? It's not a jersey swap. So obviously, my oldest is 10 years old. He's big into soccer, big into like all the big names. Dad, can you give me this jersey? Can you give me that jersey? So he's got a few, right? So we played Miami. A couple, was it 2 years ago? Maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Is this the one that you had your performance?
No. No. Oh, all right, Charlie. Jeez. This was at the Benz. And so anyway, fast forward throughout the day, my wife's like, "Hey, the kids really want to see," and I was like, listen, I don't have the pull to just like be walking around Mercedes-Benz Stadium and this and that. Well, apparently my wife does. And so anyway, she's like, she calls me after the game and I'm like, "Hey, where are you?" Normally we meet on the field after the game. She's like, "Oh, we're outside the locker room." And I was like, "I don't see you." And she's like, "Well, not your locker room, Inter Miami's locker room." So I go over there. I start talking to Tata and whatnot. But as I walk over there, I see my wife, a couple friends, the kids, and they've taken off their Atlanta United jerseys and they've got Miami shirts. And graciously enough, he came out of the locker room. Messi, he signed the kids' shirts, took a picture with them, and I looked at her. I was like, "You guys are all sleeping outside tonight." And I was like, "This is this is crazy,"
I love that.
But yeah, my kids are huge into it. Like I said, my oldest is big, but he's got a few good ones.
Is he a keeper?
He is.
Wow.
He enjoys it.
Love
I
it,
tell him
man.
all the time, "Don't do it because of Dad." And he said, "No, I like it. I think he doesn't like the running part." So it works out great.
That's fair. I don't know if we've ever had a family jersey swap before, so I got plenty of time for that story. Well, Brad Guzan, thank you so much for coming on the show. We're going to let you get back to your family and watching the game without having to be a pundit while you're doing it. Congratulations again on a fantastic career. We're really proud of you, and it was awesome to share the field with you, Brad, over the years as well. Brad Guzan, everybody, give him some love.
We'll see you at CBS Sports.
What a beast. We'll see you in Glasgow Network next week after Saturday. We'll see you next week there, Guzano. Don't worry.
Love it. See you guys.
There he goes. Wow. That was very cool. And shout out to Chuck for getting him on the show. And short notice, Chuck. Well done. Well played. That was great. And one of my favorite guys in the sport for sure.
He's one of the good ones. I'll tell you that. It's there's guys that you play with that you have a good understanding of how they operate. He's one of those players that you can call him rain, sun, rain, night, day. My guy's picking up. If you need help, he'll be there for you. And that's someone who maybe you play with 1 game, 10 games, 100 games. He's that kind of guy. So I always have time for Brad Guzan.
He's there for you. Sounds like a proper goalkeeper, in my humble opinion. Look at you getting to the end of the video. All right. Very proud of you. Now, if you want more average to good content, this is your channel. Go look at other videos, playlists. We have it all figured out. For more of the good stuff, then you got to make sure you hit like on this video, hit subscribe so you don't miss anything, and then turn on your notifications so you know when we're going live or if anything drops right when it comes out. We'd really appreciate it. See you next time.